Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and this is episode 42 of my Billionaire Minecraft series, where I will collect 1 billion iron ingots, gold ingots, diamonds, and emeralds using the All the Mods 6 mod pack in modern Minecraft 1.16. In today's episode, I am going to set up some gold ore processing, so let's get started. So in the past, at this base, I have diamond ore processing, emerald ore processing, and iron ore processing already set up, and I need to set up the gold ore processing. So the system I'm going to use today is actually going to be a little bit similar to the system for the diamond ore processing, and I'm actually going to grab a few things from this. So I actually have my supplies here in this modular storage unit, and I actually want to grab 2 supreme black hole units because right now I am going to pilfer the supreme black hole unit with a rich slag and the supreme black hole unit with cinnabar from this system, and I'm just simply going to swap them out with 2 that I have here. So let's just put these down, and there we go. So that is cool. Let's grab all of this stuff back, and let's move to the gold building to where I'm actually going to be setting all of this up today. So in case you haven't guessed, I am going to be using the induction smelters again to process my gold ore. So let's see what that entails. So if we look up gold ore and we right click on it in JEI here, we can cycle through until we get to the induction smelter. So the cool thing about using the induction smelter to smelt gold ore is that we actually get cinnabar and rich slag as byproducts from the process. So if you take a look here, we get 10% chance at cinnabar and 20% chance at rich slag. The thing is, if we use the cinnabar and the rich slag as the auxiliary or as the modifier or the catalyst as it's called, we actually get a higher percentage of actually getting those 2 outputs, those 2 auxiliary outputs, which would be once again cinnabar and rich slag. So it's going to be kind of a self-sustaining cycle if we set it up correctly. Now the ratio, and I've actually worked this out, to actually have a positive inflow of cinnabar and rich slag is 3-to-1 rich slag, as in for every 3 induction smelters I have set up to use rich slag as the catalyst, if I have 1 more set up to use cinnabar as a catalyst, I will actually get a positive flow of cinnabar and rich slag. However, the problem with actually doing a perfect 3-to-1 system is that the induction smelter actually takes longer to use with the cinnabar than it does with the rich slag. If you see here, it says energy modifier is 2.5 times. The induction smelter with full upgrades uses 320 RF per tick, and that doesn't matter what the catalyst is. If you're using a catalyst or not, it uses that 320 RF per tick. So basically, by saying it needs more energy, the cinnabar does, than the rich slag, it actually takes longer to smelt. So if we take a look with the rich slag and right click on that, the energy modifier is 1.75 versus with the cinnabar it was 2.5. So the cinnabar does take longer, so I'm not going to be using a perfect 3-to-1 ratio. So if you remember in the last episode, I set up a system in the basement here that uses the reactors from the mod power to generate energy, and we're using uranite, redstone, and coal to do that. And so I don't have the basement to play with, or I don't have very much of a basement to play with. So what I'm going to do down here is I do want to set up my ME system down here for this base here. So let's drop down this and let's start grabbing some things that we will need for that. So I do have my gold ore in a supreme black hole unit here. I don't need this rich slag or this cinnabar. Actually, you know what? It might be nice to have just for setting up my buses and things. So let's just keep that in my inventory real fast. So let's grab the terminal. Let's grab some controllers here, and let's grab an ME drive. And we'll start out with that. So the easiest way to do this is actually going to kind of be an inverted system, as in on the bottom here we're going to have the ME drive, and I should have a few of the drives here. These actually shouldn't really be necessary, but I will have them in the system anyways. And then I also need some covered cable, so let's grab some of that. I might have some different colors as well. If I was smart, I definitely do. So yeah. There we go. So let's grab these, and I already got those in there. I do need to run this up. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to oh, I don't want to throw away those. I want to put them right here. I'm actually going to have my ME controllers be up here. And 5 should be enough. It's probably more than enough, to be honest. So let's grab our ME terminal and let's put it right there. And so this will be kind of the basis for my ME system down here. And I might actually move that controller a little bit in the future. But let's start by actually setting up how we're going to have everything here. So I do want to grab a bunch of ME interfaces. And then I'm going to also grab a bunch of induction smelters. And yeah, let's start out with that. I also want to grab the red print as well so that I can configure the induction smelters. So what I'm going to do up here is let's grab the ME interfaces, and I'm going to have 8 of these over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then over here as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to do a few lines of these actually. So let's start out with 3 lines of these on either side here, and I am going to need to move these torches one away because right here this row is going to be induction smelters up against the ME interfaces. So let's go ahead and move these torches just one away so that they will be out of the way. Now let's throw down more ME interfaces over here and then over here as well. No, I missed one right there. So what I'm going to do with my induction smelters is I'm going to place them down, and I need to have the backside be an input and an output, and it needs to be auto input and auto output. So yeah, and then I do need to copy that configuration with my red print here. So let's shift right click up in the air, and then we'll right click on that. It should have copied the configuration, and what we'll do is we'll set it in the offhand, and then let's put down a bunch of these induction smelters. So let's make sure that they are configured correctly, and it does look like they are, and I'm going to be placing down a lot of these. And they will have their backs to the ME interfaces, and basically all of these spaces here next to the ME interfaces are going to have induction smelters. So I'm not quite sure how many that's going to be, but it's going to be a fair few of these induction smelters, and these ones are kind of the trickiest ones to place. Okay, there we go. And we might as well do the back row of these as well. And actually, probably be easier if I looked at that rather than the floor, but whatever, it doesn't super matter. Issues. And then just this one last row here. So that is cool. And that's a lot of induction smelters. So the next thing is I actually need to get them power. So I do need to go underneath here. And let's grab the flux bore here, and let's actually set it to 7x7 because we do need to take out a considerable chunk here. So let's make sure that we're kind of aiming at the right spot, which I'm not right now. Actually, you know what? Let's go 5x5 just because it'll be easier to aim with all of these reactors kind of in the way. So I do need to be careful not to accidentally take out too much here. And I totally misaimed that. That was dumb. Let's get over here first. Okay, that's cool. That is accurate. And then let's start over here and kind of move down. So that's actually one too far over, but that's okay. I can just adjust from here on out. Go here. Cool. So I will need to replace some stone over there, but that's not a big deal. I do need to hook up all of these to power. So let's grab some of the power conduit here. I don't need this cobblestone. In fact, I will need to grab some stone at some point to actually make that look neat again once I get done with the conduit here. So let's just grab a bunch of this conduit. I need a lot of it, and I need to hook all of these up to power. I guess I don't need this red print anymore either, so let's get rid of that. Might as well. So now for the tricky part of actually hooking all of this up. And you know what? I probably should have grabbed my configurator as well. Although it doesn't super matter, to be honest. And I didn't need to run this little strand here, did I? No. I probably should. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of this because I don't need it. And actually, because I have the reach like 5 enchantment, I really don't need to even approach where I need to lay this cable. I just need to kind of have line of sight, I guess. And that's a little tricky with these reactors here. And I'm going to be in the way here, aren't I? Yeah, this is just a little tricky to get some of these. Okay, there's most of it. Now I just need to do this back row, I think. And let's drop that down to connect up, and I'll do the same thing over here. I think there's maybe a row. Okay, that's all connected up, but this is not. Is there a super simple way to connect that up? Yeah, you know what, let's just do something like that. That'll be fine. So all of my induction smelters should have energy now. So it kind of looks like they do. Yeah, he's getting energy, so that's cool. Let's put away the energy conduit we have here, and let's move on with actually connecting all of these ME interfaces up to the controller. So that's going to be just a little bit tricky because there's not a good way to go over because of all my conduit. So let's start out. Okay, so I have dense cable and I have non-dense cable. I don't actually need dense cable for, let's say, over here. And let's start at the back. This is actually just a little bit tricky because, like I said, there's a lot of conduit just kind of around. And I think the only way to do this is to make it look ugly. So yeah, let's just do it. Let's actually grab the dense cable. Let's start the dense cable from over here. Once again, if you don't follow along too much, the dense cable carries more than 8 channels. It can carry up to 32 channels. And actually, that's going to need to be the floor, isn't it? So that won't even work. And actually, I will need to not do that there. Let's connect it up maybe from right here. Even that's kind of a struggle. You know what? I can just punch a hole through there and run it something like this. Okay, yeah, that'll be fine. So let's do that. And I do need to reconnect that right there. That should be fine. And then let's connect up all of these over here with the white dense cable. And we'll do kind of the same system where we start here, drop it down 1, go over. I don't need that cable anymore. It's actually kind of redundant at this point. So let's just get rid of it. And then we'll run this down. That should connect up and then down from here. Okay, now we just need to find a way to get those over to the ME controller, which actually shouldn't be too hard to do. Let's run that over, and there's just a lot of stuff in the way, isn't there? Okay, so we'll run that up, over, and boom. Okay, so on the connection here, I do want to use a smart cable. That way I can see how many channels I have. It should be 24. Okay, cool. So everything's connected up like I thought. Now we need to do the blue cable. So let's grab the blue dense cable and kind of do the same thing over here. So let's go over and then need to drop that around. And then I need to go one more over, and then we can run this over to the controller. So yeah, this is kind of a mess, but it should work fine. And I do have the smart connections here. This should be, once again, 24 channels. So that's cool. So now, before I go any further, I do want to hook up these 3 Supreme Black Hole units up to my ME system here. And right now this non-dense cable has 2 channels. So I do have some channels to play with. I should have one more Supreme Black Hole unit in here. Actually, I have 2. And this is going to be for the gold ingots. But I'm not going to specify that just yet because I don't have any gold ingots on me just yet. So let's grab the storage bus or the storage buses, and we are going to put them on top here. So for this one, I'm going to tell it to hold these basically as a placeholder. I'm going to set these all to a positive priority. And for the rest of these, I'm going to tell them to just hold what they already have in them. So I'm just double clicking on the partition storage and then hitting a positive priority there. So there we go, we have all the priorities set. So I'm just gonna run blue cable here to connect that up there. So like I said, this is a placeholder. It will be gold ingots once I get there. So the next thing I want to do is I actually want to tell these ME interfaces to hold, actually some of them are going to be cinnabar, some of them are going to be rich slag. And I think I'm gonna just do a 50-50 split, to be honest. I do need a gold ore as well. So what I'm going to do on the right side on all of these induction or these ME interfaces, I'm going to tell it to, actually I want a whole stack of all of these actually. So let me shift left click and it should give me a whole stack of each one. And let's get rid of the non-whole stacks. And then let's go up here and I can just fly up through the middle here. On the right side, I'm going to tell these ME interfaces to hold 1 stack of gold ore and 1 stack of cinnabar. And what should happen is that these induction smelters, they should pull in, I was gonna say they should pull in the cinnabar, right? Maybe they're not going to. Oh, okay, so maybe it's just taking its sweet time because this one did. Why did this one not pull? That's kind of weird because this one did, but this one did not. That is a little bit odd. So I'm gonna see if that behavior kind of continues because that is weird. Okay, so that one did work. It just took its time. And okay, so it grabbed a gold ingot, which it was not supposed to. So actually this is problematic. It was not supposed to grab the gold ingots here. So I'm gonna have to redo this. That's kind of a bummer. Is there any way I could actually fix this? I actually don't think there is, which kind of stinks. So I'm probably going to have to use export buses instead, and that's actually going to be a little bit problematic. I can see a way around this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a bunch of export buses, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I thought about it for just a little bit, and I am going to switch gears. What I'm actually going to do is reconfigure my induction smelters here to be input on the back with auto input still enabled, with output on the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the ultimate logistical transporters to actually transport the items away to a different spot. So yeah, that should work. What I'm going to have to actually do, and I just thought about this, is probably I will have to have more ME interfaces should actually work. So, and actually I think I just got rid of the ME interfaces that I had with me. Darn. But anyways, what I'm going to start out by doing is I'm going to take the induction smelters and I'm going to configure them like this. I already have a red print set up, and what I can do is reset this. And what I can just simply do now that I have this configuration copied is just right click on all of my induction smelters. And the thing is, it'll be super easy to see which ones I've switched because the top side will be orange. So let's go ahead and furiously change all of these over to the new proper configuration here. And that shouldn't take but just a few minutes, or actually less than a minute, hopefully. So now that we're almost done, what I want to do on the top side of all of these is I need to place this ultimate logistical transporter. So let's go ahead and do that now. And on all of these, I am going to have to use my configurator to tell these to pull out or pull the items out, because the auto eject function does not work into these ultimate logistical transporters, which is why I disabled it. So actually I don't want that there. And I'm actually going to need to grab a few more IMI interfaces. I actually got rid of the ones that I had with me because I was like, I won't need these anymore. Now I do. I need 6 more actually. So the thing is about the IMI interfaces, they actually can carry 8 channels through them. The thing is, I didn't actually connect up my cable here. Ah, shoot, it still won't work. I will need to figure something out here. Because if I just connect up the ultimate logistical transporters like this, just to the IMI interfaces here, the IMI interfaces next, or the induction smelters rather, next to the IMI interfaces that are connected up to the logistical transporter are actually going to get those gold ingots to come into here and actually stop the smelting process like they have over here. So I'm going to have to figure something out. But in the meantime, what I need to do, and I can do this off camera, is I need to switch all of these to extract mode right here. And I'm not sure how many induction smelters I have, but it's quite a few. So I'm going to do that off camera, and once I have that done and I have a scheme figured out for how to actually get the items back into the ME system, I will be right back. I think I've come up with a solution. It's not super elegant, but it should work just fine. So what I'm going to use are modular storage units, and I'm going to place them on the basically outside of these rows of the ME interfaces. So let's go ahead and do that super quickly. And let's hop over here and do these. And what I'm going to do in each one is just place a tier 1 storage module and lock that up so that it can accept items. And the reason why I like using these is that they are portable, as in you can take them with you, and they take up a full block space in this case, so that when I place import buses on the bottom, you actually won't be able to see the import bus. If I use chests, for example, you would be able to see these, and it would look not as great. So let's go ahead and add acceleration cards to all the import buses that I'm adding to the bottom of these modular storage units. And the next thing I actually need to do, and there's actually a few different things I need to do, I need to hook up these import buses to my ME system, and that's actually pretty easy. Looks like I just need to do just a little bit of routing here. And for this one, I actually don't want to use this space right here, so I'm actually going to kind of have to go around this, which is just a little bit of a nuisance. Okay, that should be fine. Yeah, a little bit beating around the bush there, but that's okay. So I'll probably have to do kind of the same thing with this one here. So yeah, unfortunately it looks like it. So we'll go down, over, around, and then with these it's gonna be kind of the same story as over here. Just down and over. So that should connect it up to the ME system. We should see that each one of these now says 27 channels, so that's cool. It looks like all of them are connected. And so the next thing is we actually need to hook them up to the ultimate logistical transporter, and we need to also use the configurator here to make sure that we're not actually hooking up to the ME interfaces here. I actually do not want this connection to exist, so I'll get rid of it, and we'll do the same thing over here. And basically all of these as well. So I need to do the same thing over there. Okay, disconnect, disconnect, that one disconnect, and one last disconnect, which would be right here. Okay, cool. So it looks like they all should be connected up like so. One thing I do want to do is I actually do want to kind of separate these systems here so that we're not getting weird item flows. I know that the import buses will only be able to handle so much. They should actually be able to handle far more than my system will require of them. But just in case, I do want to separate these so that, for example, these induction smelters, their items will all go to this one, and then these induction smelters on the other side will all go to this one. So basically, there will be a division of where everything goes, and it will be very symmetrical and look a little bit better. So I also want to do that over here as well. Okay, just a few more on this side, and then I have 8 more over here to go. And then I do need to configure all of these ME interfaces. And maybe, hopefully, everything's going to work like I need it to. So right now, let's take the gold ingots out of here that are kind of where they shouldn't be. And let's see if this system's going to work. So it is a little bit slow going. So let's actually just worry about setting up the rest of the ME interfaces here. So right now, all of these on this side are going to be cinnabar and gold. And actually, I wanted to do the gold first. It doesn't super matter, to be honest. We just need to make sure to have both of them. I think it should work either way. It does look like it's going to work either way, so that's cool. And you know what? I can probably do all of this off camera because this is going to take a little while. And once I have all of these interfaces configured, and like I said, I'm going to do gold and cinnabar on this side, and then I'm going to do gold ore, and rich slag on these ones over here. And once I have all of those set up, I will be right back. I now have all of the ME interfaces configured, and as we can see, the induction smelters on this side have rich slag and gold ore, and the induction smelters on this side have cinnabar and gold ore. So the next thing I need to do with this system is I need to tell this right here to actually hold gold ingots. So as we see, we do have some gold ingots in the ME system, and they all should now be flowing into this Supreme Black Hole unit. So that's really cool. A few of the gold ingots did make their way into here, but that's because I didn't have it configured until just now. So the last thing I want to do is I actually want to upgrade my induction smelters, and I can do that pretty easily through a few different means here. So let's actually organize this just a little bit because there are several things that I don't need anymore. So let's get rid of that. So I will need flux linkage amplifiers, and I will need resonance integral components. And what these will do is just simply speed up my induction smelters. Right now, they can only use 20 RF per tick. However, when I add this, it will go up to 80. And then when I add 3 of the flux linkage amplifiers, it will go up to 320 RF per tick. And this will speed up these machines considerably. So I'm getting a whole lot more throughput. So I can go ahead and actually do that between episodes because I'm pretty much wrapped up with this episode. Everything is set up. I just need to upgrade all of the induction smelters. Like I said, I can do that between episodes. So in today's episode, I set up this system to smelt my gold ore into gold ingots. So the cinnabar side will actually smelt 3 gold ingots for every gold ore, whereas the rich slag side, if I remember right, it'll average 2.25 times gold ingots per gold ore. So that'll be a pretty good ratio. Like I said pretty early on in the episode, however, the induction smelters using the cinnabar will move a little bit slower than the induction smelters with the rich slag, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. I will probably end up running a deficit of cinnabar with this system. However, with a starting point of 4.1 million cinnabar, I'm not super worried about it. At some point, I might need to switch that out with the Supreme Black Hole unit from the, I think, the diamond smelting system. But that's not a big deal. That's something I might have to do once every 2 or 3 or 4 weeks or something stupid like that. But anyways, if you enjoyed today's episode, feel free to leave a like down below. If there's anything I could have done better or differently, definitely let me know down in the comments below, as I do try to read all of the comments. If you enjoy large-scale automation in modern Minecraft, such as something like this, definitely consider subscribing to my channel because that's typically what I do. Anyways, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.